Hi, I'm Kelvin Sim. I'm a 2017 SEA Games gold medalist. Join me in my cycling journey. I started cycling when I was about 5 or 6 years old, when actually it was my helper who taught me how to ride the bike. So you know how we started off with the balancing wheels, the 2 balancing wheels, and then we removed it, and then I couldn't balance, so she would hold the back of the bike and help me to balance. So from then, that's how I picked up cycling. Yeah, it was more like a once a month kind of thing of cycling. So actually in secondary school, I had like-minded friends who love cycling as well. So actually, being an obese kid, then we would actually cycle our bikes to Jalan Kayu. Back then, because most of us are living in the Hougang area and Serangoon area, so we will have to bypass Punggol to actually get to Jalan Kayu. Back then, Punggol wasn't so developed, so we would get chased by dogs and stuff. Yeah, so it's good fun. The best part was having the prata at Jalan Kayu. I got into competitive cycling at the age of 15 or 15 and a half, yeah, around there. And I started mountain biking first. Yeah, so through mountain biking, you know, with a lot of weight on me, you know, then I was like, at my peak I was like 90 kilos. Yeah, so I was really heavy. And I entered my first race in Pulau Ubin, I could remember. And I actually didn't do so well. I think that was the spark that was ignited in me, that I want to do better. So after that, I actually trained a lot. Yeah, more like, I wouldn't call it training, but more like cycle a lot, because I wanted to get better. Then I started to participate in more competitions after that race, yeah, and became more serious. You know, when I gained more confidence also when my weight started to drop, yeah, and of course naturally the race results came, you know, without any like scientific training, yeah. That actually helped me towards gaining some the eye of some cycling clubs. So from there, actually, one cycling club, the Shoulder Cycling Club, that actually brought me to my first international race, which was just across Malaysia, yeah, in Penang. Yeah, that opened my eyes that actually there's huge competition overseas, you know, because I think when I was younger, I only competed locally, and sometimes I get to see like Malaysians or Indonesians coming over to Singapore and race. Yeah, but it was very different when you go to somewhere different to race. In the lead up to SEA Games 2017, I was actually working full-time at Lu Bicycles as a bike fitter. So bike fitting is about analyzing the cyclist movement on the bike and making some adjustments on the bike to allow the cyclist to cycle efficiently and comfortably. I was 28 years old, and I was working about 45 hours per week and earning about $2,000 per month. In the lead up to SEA Games, I actually converted to part-time instead, because of the ramp up of intensity and volume of training, and also the traveling to a velodrome, which would occur quite frequently. So I actually work only about 12 hours per week. Yeah, that also drastically cut my income. Yeah. For me, it was a sacrifice that had to be made, because I really wanted to do my best for this 2017 SEA Games. Actually, if I didn't get the result that I wanted, I actually would have retired. Yeah, after this 2017 SEA Games. In order to convert to part-time, I actually save a lump sum of money, about $8,000, so that I can do multiple trips to Bangkok for training in the velodrome and also racing. There were a lot of grassroots events in Bangkok, which allowed me to practice my skills on the velodrome and also hone my tactics in racing. And also, it also covered me for a trip prior to the SEA Games. We actually went to Colorado Springs for our first time at altitude training. One week prior to our training stint in Colorado Springs, my teammate Noel actually met with a life-threatening accident. Yeah, so he actually smashed into a sand truck, a stationary sand truck. Yeah, so we were all very demoralized, you know. And it was just 1 week before our training stint. Yeah, our hearts were all very heavy while we were boarding the plane, because it was so uncertain whether he would survive through this accident. Yeah, we were all so like demoralized and so. I need to pause. So the men's omnium in track cycling is actually like for athletics, like the decathlon of track cycling. Yeah, there's 4 sub-events in one event, and all 4 events require an individual to actually score points in each sub-event. So the guy that accumulates the most amount of points will win the entire race. Yeah. So actually, towards the last part of the event, which is the points race, we were actually sitting about, I think, 4th and 5th. Yeah, respectively, me and my teammate Go Chun Huat. Yeah, so going into the race, we both told ourselves that, you know, we have to just give it all or nothing, like leave nothing behind. So we were both like so ready to sacrifice for each other, because because there are actually a lot of tactics in the points race. Yeah. So if either one of us were ahead, we will actually help to cover for each other at the back. Going into the points race, we were so fired up, and I think our opponents didn't kind of like underestimated us as well. They didn't expect us to go quite early in the race. It was not even halfway in the race where we actually launched an attempt to try and take a lap in the points race. So while taking the lap, we were still gaining points as well. That added to our total points score. Yeah, which helped leapfrogged us from 4th and 5th to 1st and 2nd respectively. So when we were leapfrogged, we actually had to defend our position. So unfortunately, actually, Ahwat sacrificed himself and actually didn't get his medal, because we couldn't chase all the attacks as well. So he actually sacrificed himself and for us to get a result. In his sacrifice, actually, then we actually pulled off the gold medal, right? For me, it didn't really sink in even after I crossed the line, because towards the end of the race, I was still waiting for confirmation whether I had won the race, because it was quite messy. As you can see, although I didn't cross the line first, but then the race was quite hectic. So I had to wait for confirmation from my team managers and friends who were at the pit area. They were all jumping for joy, and then I realized we actually pulled off something that we never done in 20 years. For me, the part where Noah was there at the velodrome was really the part where it made me really proud to see him standing there and cheering for us and helping us throughout the entire event. Yeah, to see him being alive brought me so much joy. Yeah, because I couldn't imagine that 1.5 months before the SEA Games, he was lying on the floor in my arms, you know, in his pool of blood, you know, and me trying to call for the ambulance. So that was, I think, something that no one should ever go through. Yeah. So with Noah being there, I think it gave me, it was more important that Noah was there than my gold medal. Yeah. I think the experience was quite life-changing, you know. It was really an eye-opener to see how our para-athletes actually compete. Yeah. For me, actually, I was a tandem pilot. So my partner behind, he was visually impaired. Yeah. So to see how they overcome their disability and still manage to complete and compete, that really showed me that, you know, is the only limit is in your mind and also your spirit rather than physical limits. Yeah, so I think for me, the biggest takeaway was if they could do it, why can't I? When you are facing adversity, actually, you shouldn't give up, because as cliche as it sounds, as long as we adopt a positive mindset, we can actually see through it, and we can go beyond it, and also always believe in your abilities, and also have the fighting spirit, because those are the things that will actually push you to go beyond.